6 and 6, where we cover 6 stories from around the world in 6 minutes or less. That said, start your timer. Brazilian President Lula da Silva has received Foreign Ministry authorization to visit Argentina's Vice President Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, who is currently under house arrest for corruption charges. The diplomatic visit underscores the strengthening relations between Brazil and Argentina during a period of significant regional, political, and economic challenges. This engagement reflects Lula's broader strategy of fostering Latin America unity and mutual support, particularly given both leaders' complex legal histories. From Reuters, quote, as both nations grapple with substantial economic hardship and political turbulence, Lula's scheduled visit is more than just a political gesture. It underscores the revival of friendly terms and mutual support between two of South America's largest economies, a diplomatic source said, end quote. Next, we travel across the Atlantic to South Africa, where their private sector is experiencing significant economic challenge in June, with the Purchasing Managers Index, the PMN, falling to 48.7, signaling major contraction. Power outages, reduced business activity, and declining inventory levels have contributed to decreased business confidence. High inflation and policy uncertainty have further complicated the economic landscape, creating a challenging environment for businesses. From Reuters, quote, the main issue seems to be the ongoing power constraints which businesses are desperately battling with. They have had to negotiate rolling blackouts that have become more frequent and severe, impacting productivity and sales growth, end quote. Next, we go back across the Atlantic to Costa Rica, where the Constitutional Court of that country has maintained that President Rodrigo Chavez stand trial for alleged misuse of public funds related to a media campaign financing issue. This unprecedented legal action highlights the nation's commitment to judicial accountability and transparency, even for sitting political figures. The trial represents a significant movement in Costa Rica politics, emphasizing the independence of its judicial system and the potential consequences of government misconduct. From Reuters, quote, despite being a sitting president, I am prepared to fully cooperate with the investigation and maintain my complete innocence in this matter, President Rodrigo Chavez said. Quote, this ruling demonstrates that no individual, regardless of their political position, is above the law in Costa Rica, which came from an unnamed judicial official, end quote. Next, we go over to Indonesia, where a ferry incident near Bali has resulted in 2 confirmed deaths and 43 people missing after the vessel capsized during harsh weather conditions. The maritime disaster highlights significant safety concerns in the Indonesian archipelago, with rescue teams struggling against challenging sea conditions and locating survivors. Preliminary investigations suggest potential safety protocol violations and overloading may have contributed to the tragedy. From Reuters, quote, the vessel was reportedly carrying an overloaded cargo list. Authorities have flagged potential violations of safety protocol. This tragedy highlights recurring challenges in ensuring maritime safety in the region, end quote. Now we travel a little bit further south to Australia, where Gem Life, a retirement community developer, successfully completed this year's largest IPO on the Australian Stock Exchange, raising 1.2 billion Australian dollars. The company's share price has increased 6% in its trading debut, reflecting strong investor confidence in the retirement living sector. As part of a joint venture between Molopa and Delta Company, Gem Life plans to use the funds to expand operations and capitalize on the growing demand for retirement communities driven by an aging population. From Reuters, quote, our vision is redefining retirement, offering not just houses but communities where people can truly thrive, said the Gem Life CEO, end quote. And back to Europe for our final story. Italy is strategically exploring ways to meet NATO's 2% GDP defense spending target by 2026 without causing significant economic strain. The government is considering innovative approaches like counting dual-use projects in space and technology sectors towards defense expenditures by collaborating with private companies and integrating civilian military investments. Italy aims to fulfill its NATO commitment while maintaining fiscal responsibility. From Reuters, quote, we are looking to create synergies within industries like aeronautics and space where part of the investment naturally has a defense element, said an anonymous senior government official, end quote. And if you want to check out any of these articles, you want to read all of the story today, they will be linked in their entirety in the description below that like and subscribe button. Also down there you can find the podcast on Spotify, Pocket Cast, Podvine, as well as the Twitter handle at Your Daily Flip, where I post links to these stories or these episodes that come out on Tuesday and Thursday, as well as the normal podcast that comes out on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So with all that said, there's only one more thing to say. Stay safe. Don't die.